But it turns out not talking to a girl and falling asleep on the beach next to her is enough to enchant angry antisocial goth wannabes, and Ronnie agrees to go on a totally not a date with Will to the aquarium.
Must be pretty cool swimming around with all the fish.
You should see it from in here.
Maybe I will someday.
Yeah. Give me a hand up.
Stop! Has everyone already guessed what's going to happen next? Well, you don't have to because everyone's already seen this cliche!
Give me a hand up.
I'm so glad that this movie is full of fresh original ideas that you don't see in traditional romance stories. They bring the not a date to the beach, where Will is late for volleyball practice.
We got the tournament coming up soon. Let's go.
Want to grab me a water?
Fine.
Did they just kiss? That was the worst first kiss ever put to film! Half of it isn't even on screen! Who's the hack that wrote this in? Oh, that's right, I forgot for a moment. But Will's ex-girlfriend Ashley doesn't like this development, so she screws with Ronnie.
Do I know you?
I'm a friend of Will's. But, you know, Will has lots of friends. He makes us all feel special. For a little while.
So Ronnie decides not to talk to Will, but to instantly break up with him. And I can't believe I have to do this, but Will comes back to talk, and they make up almost as easily as they broke up.
Okay, I went out with other girls before I met you. But that's the point. It was before I met you. How can you be mad about that?
Will, don't you dare make this about me. You and I both know this is not my fault.
No. You've already had your first kiss, remember? You don't get to treat this like some magical moment that you're experiencing for the first time since you've already done it. But hey, you know what comes after first base? So they're dating again. After they get covered in mud when they get Will's truck stuck in the road, they go to Will's house, where Ronnie makes a startling discovery.
This is your house. You live here? You're rich?
Look at how disgusted she is. Why would that be your reaction? I thought you were just good-looking, sweet, hardworking, and caring, but you're telling me you're filthy rich too? Oh, this ruins everything. Actually, it kind of does. After dinner with Will's parents, Ronnie decides that she and Will are from two different worlds.
Look, Will, we don't have to do this.
What do you mean?
Maybe you should find someone that's more suited to your lifestyle.
However, this breakup lasts even less time than their last one.
I love you, Will.
I love you too.
And now that they've admitted their love for one another, Ronnie wants to share her musical talent with Will.
I'm naked on a wrecking ball, showing off my boobs and butt.
I would like to take this time to thank Miley Cyrus for making these jokes so easy to write. So in a strange change from the books, they shift the blame of the church fire from an unknown arsonist to Steve. And for the life of me, I don't know why. The book made sure to detail Steve's love for the church and its pastor, but to replace that with him being a suspected arsonist, you take away a lot of the backstory. Steve has been the most likable person in the movie so far. He's caring and responsible, but they don't really go anywhere with his plotline. Plus, we get a scene where it turns out Scott was the one who started the fire, as well as Marcus, thus way overcomplicating things, and can you see why I'm not a fan of Nicholas Sparks? So Will's sister's wedding comes along, and we get a big happy wrap-up to several plot threads. Blaze is hired as a caterer and apologizes for being such a bitch.
I didn't deserve it, what you did the other day. But, thank you.
It's okay.
Marcus finally gets karma delivered to him in the form of Will's fists.
Ronnie!
In the book, Marcus gets sent to jail for setting the church on fire. Here, he gets mildly beaten. And we never see him again. Good change. I'm glad they let the arsonist who burned down a church off so easy. As Will drives Ronnie home, we finally get to see some good news.
Hey guys, Dad thinks the turtles are gonna hatch tonight. Come on.
I'm gonna get another light.
Okay.
But then, tragedy strikes.
Daddy!
Ah, yes, it's that time of the plot. It's Nicholas Sparks' way of creating an obstacle which kind of, but not really, spells disaster for Ronnie and Will's relationship. Steve has been hiding the fact that he has cancer, which is why he wanted to see his kids and have them spend time with him over the summer. Remember how good he looked at the beginning of the movie? The book said that he looked starved and that he was living in a small shack by the beach granted to him by the church. The book uses obviously poor health to foreshadow how badly he was really doing, as well as earn some quick sympathy for him. None of that in the movie, though! This is sweet, but it pushes Will to clear his conscience.
Please. Okay.
Well, that was effortless. I guess please really is the magic word.
Well, we were behind the church, sir. Then Marcus and his guys showed up. And that's when Will left. We started playing around with,
Fire.
yeah.
Wait. Ronnie!
You were there?
No, he wasn't. Didn't you hear?
Will left.
You saw what it did to him.
I know, I tried to get Scott to fess up.
Why didn't you say something?
Well, it's not that simple. It wasn't about me. I mean, Scott's a good guy.
I don't care, Will. You knew how guilty my dad felt, and you let him feel that way.
What? But this!
You gotta come clean about the fire.
You didn't just say that.
Her father thinks he did it. People in town think he did it. You know that.
Will has done nothing wrong, and rather than stab a friend in the back, tried to get Scott to confess on his own. Not to mention the part we all know Marcus played, the punk-ass pyromaniac. In fact, why is this the problem at all? They don't go into the actual events, and they just stay as vague as possible. Who's to say Marcus isn't entirely responsible? But no, Ronnie just focuses on how she's not dating a tattletale, and you guessed it!
Go find some other girl that makes you feel alive for 5 minutes. One that can stand to be near you.
Please stop.
Don't touch me. Will! Don't touch me.
Will you take a second to at least hear him out like a real relationship? How is this a love story when the love these two share is always hanging on by the thinnest of threads? So since she's not going to college, Ronnie wants to stay behind and take care of her dad. They spend time together, they work on an unfinished song together, they talk, and they generally try to make up for lost time.
He's probably started college by now. You miss him?
What he did was wrong, Dad.
He walked away and had nothing to do with the fire. He even tried to talk to Scott into confessing several times rather than rat him out like a backstabber. Now I will give the movie credit here. Steve's death is handled very well. While Ronnie finishes their song, Steve reflects on the time they've had together before slipping away. The music is gentle and kind, which just makes the scene all the more heartbreaking. At the funeral, Ronnie plays her father's new song, where Will shows up unexpectedly. When Ronnie is given an offer to attend Juilliard, she and Will reconnect on the beach.
I'm thinking of maybe transferring to Columbia next semester. So the girl I love can watch me make a few more mistakes. What do you think about that?
Everybody needs inspiration.
And so their paper-thin relationship returns in literally the last 30 seconds of the movie, no doubt doomed to failure when Will has to skip lunch with Ronnie in order to finish a term paper. I'll admit, I'm not really in the target audience for this movie, but even still, the movie's problems outshine what's good about it. Ronnie's a bitch, the big romance between her and Will is shakier than the San Andreas Fault, and it just follows Nicholas Sparks' usual formulaic plotline. The story is just as much a redemption tale as it is a romance, transforming Ronnie from a selfish, egotistical bitch into a selfish, egotistical bitch who makes up with her father and falls in love with Will. Her shift is gradual enough in the movie, but there are more steps taken in the book, like how she got a job at the aquarium or actually goes to court. Remember how riveting that shoplifting plotline was? The acting is decent at least. No one's bringing their A game, but why would you in a Nicholas Sparks movie? Even the kid who plays Jonah isn't that bad. Usually. What I did like was the music. The music was great and fit almost every scene it was played in. And in a movie called The Last Song, you'd hope they got that right at least. It accompanied each emotion well, and in some cases even helped tell the story. Plus the cinematography was good. Sadly, this is exactly like every other book Nicholas Sparks wrote. This man is the most formulaic writer I know, almost to the point where you'd have trouble telling his stories apart. It's such a shame that a hack writer like this can become world famous, while much more talented and hard-working writers struggle just to get noticed. I'm Crimson Rogue, and that's one Nicholas Sparks movie down. 9 more to go.